Good evening, everyone. I'm Ethan Yoon, your host of Next Week Now, your first source in what might be the news. This week's episode is brought to you by Starbucks' new Pumpkin Spicer Latte. Once a beloved seasonal flavor, now a symbol of white girls and white supremacists everywhere. Sean Spicer, once a low-key, apparently very reasonable and easy to work with guy, has now bitten off more than he can chew in his current position. That's right. Not too long ago, it was revealed by Spicer that he chews and swallows a pack and a half of cinnamon orbit gum a day. It's unclear whether this is due to stress or if it's just a strange habit, but next week a study will emerge comparing the workings of gum to something else sticky and tough to swallow, the words of Donald Trump. Now, if you didn't know, the reason that gum sticks to things is because it has a polymer-based structure, meaning that it's formed of a long chain of molecules. Trump's words, similarly, are made up of long chains of nonsense. This whole gum thing is pretty odd and raises some concern for Spicer's health, despite his claims that his doctor has given him the okay. This new dual study, however, will show that Spicer will suffer for years from having to consume an abundance of this cheap, lacking of sustenance product of capitalism. The gum won't affect him much, though. Speaking of Trump, after his references to the supposed conflicts happening in Sweden, he was berated by people who said that his claim was completely unbacked and entirely untrue. But we here at Next Week Now know better. You see, it will later turn out that Trump was attempting to make a prediction regarding Sweden and its immigrants. That's right, Trump will soon be joining the Next Week Now team. It will really be such a perfect fit. I mean, Trump's entire campaign has been built on jokes, right? Just jokes. Anyway, soon after arriving and meeting with us for the first time, we will receive a huge step up in our 100% based in reality and sure to happen predictions. People don't tend to take us seriously here because of our tendency to speak the truth no matter how ridiculous it sounds, and that won't change because of a big name sponsor like Trump. Here are a couple of predictions to come. Trump's hair will be put under study and revealed as real. The number 45 is actually scientifically the best number. And finally, a study will come out stating that having orange skin is a natural sign that a person is much, much smarter than you, but don't worry, it's not your fault. Later on in the week, Republicans, after announcing their long-awaited health care plan, will continue to struggle with naming said plan. As it will turn out, the plan was relatively simple to think of, and their biggest issue was, in fact, coming up with a sweet acronym for said plan. The plan won't involve anything like doctors or medicine because nobody knew healthcare could be so complicated, but it will offer free euthanasia to poor people. This plan's name is going to be Donald Enjoys All the Healthcare, or Steve Bannon for short. During all of this commotion, a strange incident will be taking place at the White House. Reports will emerge that a strange man will be spotted snooping around the White House perimeter under the name Amabo Kakarub. Security will apprehend this man, and upon some further scrutiny, it will be revealed that this man in question is in fact just some random guy wearing a fake mustache. When questioned about his motives, he'll be cited as saying, "I'm from the future, we need to go back." What an odd guy. Sounds like he needs a job at Next Week Now too. Moving on to the DNC, it has been discovered that the Democratic Party has completely run out of ideas that may get them some traction in the next presidential election. So they've decided to elect none other than Paul Giamatti for their frontrunner in 2020. An odd choice, but at least this big fat liar knows Spider-Man. We stand in solidarity with you, Paul. Hashtag I'm with Paul. This Sunday is in fact Jake Tapper's birthday. When blowing out the candles on his birthday cake, Jake will take a cue from the classic Jim Carrey movie Liar Liar and wish for Kellyanne Conway not to be able to tell a lie. Instead of the magic wish only lasting for 24 hours, as in the film, Tapper's wish will last for the rest of his career at CNN, so a few months. In a couple of days, Alex Jones, head of the hit with Trump news show InfoWars, will come out in support of the esteemed Milo Yiannopoulos after claims against him citing Milo's supposed condoning of pedophilia, using a new theory that restrictions and consent are merely just constructs of the left created only to stop the alt-right supporters from procreating further. Jones will later come under investigation of having 32 children, which he refers to as his Alex drones.